Hello, Care Bear here to share with you these Morgen Frost drop design mittens. These mittens are super warm. They have a cable front, just plain knit on the back, lovely cuff. And I just recently finished these Morgen Frost mittens to match a hat that my husband had bought me a few years ago. This is my plan for winter skating. I wanted something to match this hat, which I wear with my winter jacket, and I was gifted from a friend this beautiful yarn, and so I decided to create these drops design Morgen Frost mittens. They have a knit to purl to cuff, and then you do some increases and decreases before the body of the mitten to set up for those cables. And then you continue to knit in the round. On the cuff, you're using a 3.5 millimeter needle, sorry, a 3 millimeter needle, a US 2.5, and in the body, you're using a 3.5 millimeter or a US 4. The yarn that drops calls for is, I think, the Charisma, which is a DK weight yarn. In this case, I used this lovely Marisol yarn that is spun in Peru, and it is 50% merino, 40%, 50% baby llama, 40% merino, and 10% Angora. Oh my goodness, and they are so soft. A friend had given me this yarn. She found it in a thrift shop, and lucky me, it was a perfect match. So I went hunting for mittens that would have this type of cable similar to what is in the hat. I was trying to find something that would match. It is a free download from the Drops free pattern site, and you work along those cables. They're all the same. They all twist in the same way. I think every fourth round you're twisting that cable with some pearls in between, and just a plain knit on the other side. You are increasing into the gusset area before the thumb. You put the thumb on whole and then continue in the round until you get up to the fingering area up here, and you begin to decrease on the right and the left. And I believe you are not doing any Kitchener stitches. You are just pulling the last few stitches together and with a darning needle and sewing it in. Then you go back and pick up for the thumb. Really easy to do the thumb work. You're working in the round for a number of rounds or until they fit. I guess you can try them on at that point. And then you do the same thing. You gradually decrease, and with the darning needle, you pull that through. Mine are a little bit different in two ways. One, I started with a Debbie Bliss DK yarn that is merino, and I cast on a number of guicard stitches for the cuff, and I just knit 4 rounds because I wanted that touch of purple. My jacket is this color, or sorry, touch of orange. My jacket is this color with a little bit of orange, and the hat has a little bit of orange, so I thought it'd be cute to add that to the bottom of the mittens. Another thing I did, because I am walking outside in the winter time, I live in Canada, it's quite cold, and I'm skating outside every day. I wanted these mittens to be super warm, so I have created a liner in these mittens. So I'm just going to pull it out. What I did was I went on the inside of the mitten and I picked up around the edge of the cuff. I didn't double the cuff. I started at that point, and I just knit in the round and created the same mitten without the cables. So I didn't do the increasing that you would typically do in the mitten to set up for those cables. I just lift the same number of stitches in the cuff, and I continue to knit up and do the necessary increase for the gusset. I put the thumb on hold, and then I just continue to knit right up to the top, doing the same thing that I did with the mitten. Then I picked up for the thumb, did it in the same way, and now I have, really it's a mitten within a mitten, so they are super thick, super warm, double thick, double warm for walking and skating. I don't think there's anything else that I wanted to share with you. I did put the link below to the Drops site where I picked up this pattern, and also the link to my mittens on my Ravelry site. I use Ravelry to document all my creations. It's a great place to take notes and keep the notes of everything that I make, because often I go back and there's no way I can remember the things that I did. So I make notes about how many rows I did on the bottom here and how I picked up to do that lining. And that's my Morgen Frost mitten that I will be wearing this winter when I am skating. Thanks for joining me.